Hmm. Where do I start with making two-spirit content? I suppose by talking about what I know so far. And what I've learned is the term two-spirit was born in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, eh? Nay. That's for real. That's a 19-day walk. I looked this up on Google Maps. 22-hour drive from my res. And Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. The term two-spirit was invented in 1990. Way over there. And I would have had to drive there at 2 years old to even begin to understand the challenges life was about to throw my way. I didn't learn about the term two-spirit until the broader general public did, probably 2015 to 2019, maybe. I just remember a huge surge in hashtag-driven awareness campaigns like hashtag no DAPL. I had several family members and friends who I know participated in the activism during that time. Hashtag I don't know more is another one I saw circulating a lot. And then more and more of my family and friends or acquaintances even started dropping hashtag two-spirit. So at first I rejected this for myself because I removed my experience of being transgender from being two-spirit, which is an accurate self-analysis move to make internally, I guess. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I'm just a dude in this body. And I just kind of left it at that. I didn't deep dive. I really didn't deep dive for a while when I saw those hashtags come out. So yeah, learning about that hashtag made things blurry for me for a while until I researched, deep dived finally, and sat with that information long enough and I just accepted. I was like, okay then, that's me. A, but no A. I don't shame my feminine identity like a lot of people do in the trans community. I just wear it in a way I'm comfortable with now, and I think that's more from my indigeneity and the teaches and practices I've learned from the women in my matriarchal tribe. So I wasn't taught to shame that. I was taught that it's a beautiful thing. So I was confused going into the trans community. That's another story. So two-spirit identity for my personal journey means that I'm embracing my femininity and my masculinity and practicing that in a variety of ways, culturally and not culturally, that my natural talents and or personal capabilities allow, regardless of how I transition my body to align with my gender identity. Does that make sense? I'm gonna repeat myself. Two-spirit identity from my personal journey means embracing my femininity and masculinity and practicing that in a variety of ways, culturally and not culturally, that my natural talents and or personal capabilities allow, regardless of how I transition my body to align with my gender identity. Just gonna be as candid as I can when I say I went through and grew out of a large variety of deep, long-rooted insecurities. And my brain still actively heals from those all the time. I'm just emphasizing that these insecurity wounds sadly affected my first shaky steps toward my two-spirit identity. There's no shake in my step now. Thankfully, and it feels silly to think that I rejected this for myself, But it really was that important for me to really introspect before I claimed this identity. I asked myself, am I sitting with my femininity and my masculinity together for tea? Am I practicing that in my indigeneity consciously? I carried the lessons I learned living as an assigned female at birth with great pride and peace, and that is what connects me to my ancestral two-spirit people. Transitioning my body is simply how I express the depths of masculinity that I've met inside myself. That was where I was able to see how I can be both trans and two-spirit, and distinguish the difference between someone who is indigenous, trans, but maybe not two-spirit themselves. There are both out there, as it turns out. So I was like, well, which one am I? Me. Who am I? Me. But no, Anyway, I've been living confidently as trans with this unique lens on my res since 2011, and it's been isolating, I won't lie. I have gotten lonely because not everyone knows what this experience is like, and we aren't common to meet. It's not common for us to live near each other, and sometimes lateral violence prevents us from getting to know each other too. Tribal politics. Fear keeps us from connecting. I've been missing queer community for a long time because they are scarce in variety and diversity in the middle of the wheat fields, as it turns out. I haven't always had resources to confidently travel to and from any powwow, not nearby, let alone a powwow so far from home, such as BAAITS. And taking in and mentally stabilizing myself after attending my first BAAITS annual Two-Spirit powwow in San Francisco, California, has taken me longer than I thought. Honestly, it's Wednesday, February 12th, and I have a lot to submit before the 15th. And I've had people asking me for pictures and photos and stuff, and I'm getting them ready, and I have everything just about ready. But it's been a lot to take in. I've been to so many powwows, but I've never seen a powwow like this before. I left my res and came back a different person, a different Indian. For real though, my res taught me that two-spirit people mostly live in whispers among us. BAAITS Pow Wow 2025 taught me that's not true. We're not whispers among us, or at least we shouldn't be. We are a heartbeat that has come to life. We are the warmth and sweetness in the air, the ones that smell good. We're that lively energy, and we carry bright lights in us that glow in us and captivates those around us. I can't remember the last time I was given permission to be captivating. I can't remember the last time someone facilitated and celebrated the unique light I've shined. No one was quietly saying, and I'm talking about people at BAAITS Pow Wow. You didn't see anybody saying or behaving in a way. I'm emotional right now because the contrast is so obvious. I mean, no one was just quietly saying like they do here. They quietly say, in one way or another, whether it's words or behavior. You get the message from people when you're two-spirit. You get the message here that your happiness is too loud, your joy is too bright, your two-spiritness is too two-spirity. Try saying that 5 times fast. Two-spirity. Going from feeling like I'm a medical billing and coding problem at my local IHS to this powwow, and seeing that I'm indeed not a problem, but worthy of passionate praise in song, in dance, in regalia. This changed my life. This is what conscious belonging looks like, feels like. This is what has been erased from my tribe. This is what I am ready to revitalize. There is no word that captures what it's like to feel the sense of surrounding support on the first day of the second month in 2025. Because our times are real. I recognize it's taken me a while to make myself more visible and accessible online. But I hope you see that I'm here now, and I hope to see your faces, your names online from here on out. I'm so thankful to everyone who helped make BAAITS a reality. Thank you so much for all you've done. I'm committed to returning as much as I can for the rest of my life and living a life to keep making my two-spirit community proud every single time we gather together again. I've experienced many changes in my life that require my immediate and daily attention, including active healing on recent mental and emotional wounds from life-altering circumstances. I am safe and I am secure. And I do have the resources to get better, and I've been utilizing those. The privacy factor has contributed to my healing process a lot, but I am willing to start sharing snippets of my life a little more often, even though I'm not entirely comfortable. Honestly, I really am not entirely comfortable doing this. The power of visibility is just really hitting me in these times, and I'm realizing, especially after powwow, that I need to share my life. Others need to see my flavor of living, I guess. I think that'll help out some kind of way, I hope. So here I am sharing, and I have a lot to share. The reservation I grew up on provided me with a beautifully multifaceted perspective on life. I can't put it all into words right now, but beautifully multifaceted perspective is really the most broad and direct, correct way to describe my reservation and what I was given here. I really love my tribe, and I'm very proud to carry my heritage, my Cayuse Nez Perce heritage. However, while society has now collectively recognized and agreed that the term two-spirit was the appropriate umbrella term for us to carry, two-spirit people are not celebrated the way you would hope where I'm from. Much of this is due to predictable colonial effects, primarily in the form of religious constructs that keep us in a cycle we can't seem to detach our ancient indigeneity from. Somewhere in our history at the Confederated Tribes of the Umatilla Indian Reservation, I want, and I say this, I want to believe that the conglomeration of our three tribes, Cayuse, Umatilla, or Walla Walla, recognize two-spirit folks in our region and might have celebrated them even. They might have celebrated us. As far as I know, and I say that as far as I know, I could be wrong, religious persecution kept knowledge of us two-spirit people and historical documentation of us two-spirit people buried right alongside our now officially extinct Cayuse language. I say this slowly and with dramatic effect. Because erasure is working on us. It's working on us. Not everyone where I'm from will agree with me. I'm sure I accept and welcome the inevitable tense conversations that challenge my perspective or knowledge, as it is an opportunity to grow and learn, and I cannot learn or grow by waiting for someone to communicate with me. So if I must learn correct information by communicating it wrong, then that's still an acceptable pathway to learning, I think. If I speak false information, I'm open to correction. If it's there, I'll document it as such. I just want to put that out there. A steadfast few people here on my res, my steadfast, they actively attempt to connect and build a conscious culture of belonging for us two-spirit folks out here. But it is slow moving, and I'm still learning logistics and leadership and group facilitation, along with the communication skills that come with this role. It's a lot to learn. Starting and keeping a two-spirit society running is a responsibility that I recognize as a need, and I'm showing up as much as I possibly can in ways I'm personally capable. If anyone listening has resources for me to learn how to improve my leadership and gather resources for my people here, please message me and connect with me. I'm voicing myself as a leader and a committed forever student. What I have done to inform my community and allies as a two-spirit person in my region is offer a multitude of perspectives in public talks at local colleges and universities or classrooms at high schools. I have become successful because I was privileged with belonging among many people and accepted along my journey and empowered to stand up and say something. We still have work to do as far as celebration factor for all of us, but we cannot become empowered, all of us, without your participation. Whether we're whispered about or loudly celebrated, our two-spirit roles reveal themselves in the ways only two spirits know how to deliver those roles. You'll recognize our talents, our gifts, our capabilities. You will recognize and see our weaknesses. And I can tell you the best way to be our strongest ally when recognizing our shortcomings is to offer help or solutions. We're not that complicated. We're just here. We're just here. If you want us to win or take us along with you while you're winning, embrace our place of belonging. Make space for us. Put down a blanket for our cute butt at the powwow. But no, If you're wondering how to help two-spirit people, financial contributions of any kind to any two-spirit person, groups of people, or two-spirit organizations are an excellent way to break these barriers you don't see two-spirit people facing day to day. Barriers that prevent us from accessing healthcare, education, resources, mental health services, cultural events, traditional regalia, traditional knowledge, networking opportunities, scholarships for two-spirit youth, and safe spaces where two-spirit people can gather and facilitate more conscious culture of belonging together. We have rent to pay, food to eat, and communities to build. And we do belong. We even traveled through winter weather to reach each other from all over the globe just to belong together. 4,000 to 6,000 of us. The two-spirit movement is alive. I invite you to help us thrive. Follow #2spirit and engage in all things #2spirit. Follow us on every social media platform wherever we share ourselves with you. Stick with our stories. Invest in our plot and share it. Pay us. Encourage others to pay us. If you cannot pay us, drop our names when you think of someone in need of learning that cultural skill or tradition you're learning, or heard about someone else learning. Start asking yourself and don't ignore the question, have our local Two-Spirit people learned this? Let me reach out. Don't assume we do. We get excluded by our own families sometimes. We don't always voice our needs. We are still being actively erased. Ask questions about how we helped the person or people who tried to discredit us, who tried to smear us, or find ways to use our mistakes as identity badges of shame. They more than likely can tell you where we helped them in ways only we knew how at the time Creator sent us to them. Challenges are healthy. And so we ask you to challenge those accusations. We deserve the social defense, where people have become comfortable with Two-Spirit erasure. Remember that people are comfortable with Two-Spirit erasure, even our own. And you must believe them when they reveal this to you, and protect us from them or the obstacles they create for us. Sometimes the obstacles are in the forms of legislation. Challenge those who pit us against each other. We are not meant to be in competition with each other. Inform us of opportunities first. Remember, we have special capabilities that are important to utilize in cultural preservation, and communicate that to people who need to utilize these skills we have. Understand that we need to be needed. We don't need to be changed. Connect us to each other. Find reasons for us to mend the wounds you have witnessed we have given each other. Someone taught us how to hate ourselves, and we are still unlearning our own erasure too. Hold space for what you don't understand about us. Understand, you are in rooms we are not in, and you hear what society designed for us to not hear. Tell us anyway. Celebrate us when we accept ourselves as Two-Spirit. Organize a powwow for us, and always remember, Two-Spirit people, we are worthy of conscious belonging. Yokkolo.